There's one type of video that has gotten me more views, likes, shares, leads, literally everything compared to every single other video on my Instagram account as a realtor who markets the Boise area. And when you understand the format, then it's something that you can easily duplicate and replicate for yourself. A lot of real estate agents these days on Instagram are literally just copying each other. And that's all well and good, but that can only get you so far. And as this continues further and further down the road, everyone's just gonna look exactly the same. But this one type of video, this is what I call the multi-clip highlight. This video creates a moat around me. And the reality is that it takes longer to create than most videos. And most real estate agents just want to create a very simple one-clip reel with text on the screen that we pulled from someone else and we threw it in the chat or Claude and we got a caption and wham bam, we're off to the races, we're creating content. Not many people are actually willing to spend the extra time to create this type of video that I'm literally gonna break down for you right now. And that's your opportunity. And so if you wanna become the one reason, the most well-known person, when someone thinks of real estate in your area, they think of you, then you're going to want to learn, or at least understand at a bare minimum, how to do the multi-clip viral edit. So without further ado, let's jump right in. And one more quick thing. What you're about to watch is a 2-hour masterclass, or part of the 2-hour masterclass that I gave to our one-on-one private coaching clients inside the social circle. It's a 16-week private community where I work with you one-on-one to create more conversations, usually about 8 to 16 consultations over the next 16 weeks. If that's something you're interested in, you can find the link in the bio to check it out. Okay, let's jump in. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Right off the bat, when it comes to multi-clip, I want to clarify what type of multi-clip I'm actually talking about. If we look over at the type of content that we create, we all know it falls under 3 buckets. We have connection, AKA story content, we have real estate specific content, and we have local content. In the connection side of things, I really bucket into 2 types of content. You basically have number of things content, and you have lifestyle content, where really, it's just a highlight of many clips, essentially. And when it comes to lifestyle and number of things, the way I have this organized is you can have single clip for both, and then you can have multi-clip for both. And so today we're going to be talking about this one only, this specific lifestyle multi-clip. This is the type of content that I'm talking about. I'm the one that sits and waits, 'cause I love you like I wish I loved myself. Trust is a word I won't use. You left me hungry. Essentially, I'm just highlighting life here. It's like a excitement commercial for like that Visit Idaho would show. Like, this is what it looks like for your trip. So be sure to book your trip with us, or something like that. This is my favorite type of content to create. It also is a double bonus because people also really enjoy it. It reaches a lot of people a lot of times, and I get a lot of leads off of this type of content. People locally like that I create this content. It makes them love where they live, and also makes them feel like they should be getting out more than they actually do. And it also makes people confident in choosing that Idaho could be a great place for them and their family. I've had people tell me that it's my account that actually convinced them to move to my area. And I know for a fact it's this type of content that makes them. Anytime somebody says, I love your account, they're not talking about my number of things content. They're talking about my content that actually makes them smile, makes them happy, makes them look forward to actually moving here, living here, the new season, the winter season, the summer season, Christmas, Easter, whatever it is that I share. I try to do it in a way that gets people actually excited to be around. So, lifestyle highlight content that I just showed you falls under the connection content pillar. Connection content is part of our 3-pillar approach. And connection content is anything, as I describe it, where your CTA is for someone to download your guide. So it's very simple. I've heard, a few people say, I don't understand like how the different content fits into each other's buckets. Just think of it like CTA. If my CTA is to download my guide, it probably is connection content. If your CTA is to get the listing for the house you just showed, or the listings for the community you just showed, that would be real estate content, because you're asking someone to comment for the listing. That's the lead magnet, if you will. And then finally, local is not your guide, not the listing. It's either nothing, or you send them to somebody's website, or maybe if you did a holiday guide, maybe it would be a holiday guide or something like that. But 90% of connection content, like I said, falls under 2 categories. Number of things. 5 things I normalize. 5 things I wish I would have known. The one thing that nobody tells you. The internet's not telling you this one thing. I wouldn't move here without knowing these 3 things. Like just number of things. Lifestyle highlights. A collection of random clips. That's what we're talking about. A collection of random clips across a large time period showing off the lifestyle of your area with the main goal to create interest in life in your area. That's what we're talking about today. So we have 2 hours blocked out. Hope you can stay for the whole thing. This is what you can expect. I'm going to be showing you a lot of examples because I think it's important to truly understand where this came from, to understand how to best implement it into your own business, your own ideal client, your own area, your own interests and hobbies, because it truly is based off of your interests and hobbies. We're going to see some extended examples where you're going to feel like you want to zone out, maybe pick up your phone and look at something else. I want to encourage you not to, so that you can stay focused just for this time that we have here. At the end, after we go through all of this, we're going to do a live edit. I've got it all ready. To try and minimize the amount of time. When I do this edit, it's probably going to take me longer than it normally does. However, it does take me some time. So before we jump into this, I do want to say that this type of edit takes me a long time. Like this isn't short. This isn't the quickest thing to do. By far, the quickest thing that I can possibly do is 5 things you didn't realize about moving here. By far, the fastest. But I don't want to build my account on this. Number one, it's too easy. And so everybody just copies me anyways, or copies that all you guys. And number 2, it doesn't really let people in to who I am and in general. So I like to believe that the lifestyle highlights are worth their time because number 1, the KPIs or the analytics actually show that to be true, but also people assimilate my brand with this type. Now, before we even jump in, I actually want to handle a few things that you might already be thinking, which is number 1, I don't have that stuff around me. I live in a city. I don't do those things. I don't have those hobbies. I don't have those interests. I don't live an epic life. Whatever it may be, you can apply these same principles to whatever it is that you're actually talking about. Because these same principles I apply to different types of content across the board. As a quick example, I've made videos that I want people to feel the emotion of small town feel doing small town things. And so I take these principles and maybe I'm not hiking a mountain. Instead, we're just riding our bike after church one day. I use the same principles to create that emotion, because that really is all this is about, is creating emotion. So enough talking. Well, I'm going to keep talking, but let's jump in. And it all starts with the history. We're going to do a little bit of storytelling and a little bit of examples. So from 2000 to 2006, I was in 6th grade to about junior year in high school. I was a skateboarder, snowboarder, and a wakeboarder. So I spent a lot of my free time watching as many skates and snowboard videos as possible. These videos were simply these are literally just compilations of clips throughout a season put together with a fun song, which created a fun little edit that was enjoyable to watch because it got you excited. It literally got you excited. Before I'd go snowboarding, I would watch a snowboard video and it just got me amped up. I was ready to go. I was ready to rip. So here's kind of an example of what that looked like and where it all truly began. So from here, we started making our own skateboard videos. We realized very quickly that every time the skater landed, he was landing on the beat, on the beat, on the beat. Every single time there was the same pacing, no matter what. They would cut the clip as soon as he landed. If there wasn't anything more in the clip that needed to be seen, they cut it out. And so we learned that very quickly. That's how we edited our own skate videos. The first skate videos we ever edited, you know how you could record things onto a VHS tape from your TV? We would literally film it on like our dad's camcorder, and then we would hook up a cable into the TV and we'd have a blank VHS video in the TV, and we'd be pressing record on the TV as the camcorder is playing. Epic. Literally making videos like that. So awesome when you think back to it. In 2007 to 2013, these were basically my college years. I was about 18 to 23. I started getting into electronic music, started going to festivals, and they would always have these hype like style videos to market the festival as it was coming up. And then afterwards, they would call it an after movie. We would have gone to the festival and then we'd watch the after movie and we would just live the glory, relive all our favorite moments. And that was really fun. And so that's what basically the same thing. It was a compilation of clips meant to make you feel a certain emotion. You know, it was very similar. So I'm going to play this for a little bit because this is now like when I think about what I do, this is where it began, was seeing videos like this, seeing how they portrayed emotion and showed faces and smiles and eyeballs and close-ups and wide angles. And when the song gets fast, the edit goes fast. And when the song is slow, the edit is slow. Literally everything I'm doing in my content these days.
But gravity pulls you down. Gravity pulls you down. And when you feel out of place, you don't have to be afraid. No, you don't have to be afraid. Take my hand and reload. This is free love. That's what we are made of. Yes, we are.
Are you here? Are you ready to rave?
You can see as it's building up, a lot of slow motion, a lot of just slow paced clips. Then as the beat drops, we start seeing fireworks, the pacing moves, they start bouncing faster, the clips are started to edit really quickly. If you ever see any of my videos, if I can capture fireworks, I will, because I know that when the song drops in my edits, I want to have that fireworks happening. And it comes from this, basically. From 2015 to 2017, I was out of college. I still hadn't picked up my first camera yet, but these were the travel vlog years from I was 26 to 28 years old. Around this time, travel videos and travel vlogs were big for YouTubers like Devin Supertramp, who I looked up to, Parker Walbeck, who I really looked up to, and same with Sam Colder. So once again, these were literally just a compilation of clips to a song to create an edit. So basically the same exact thing, but just in a different style. So we're gonna watch a few of these just to kind of understand the pacing. Basically, all these guys would do is they would go on a trip, they would film and do as many epic things as they possibly could, and then they would come back and they would create a highlight style video from it. This is Sam Colder, very similar. Parker Walbeck basically taught me everything that I knew, from understanding that I need to film at sunset, to filming faces, to filming detail shots, to filming wide shots, showing landscapes. This is why you see me film the way I do. These videos fell short though. There was no storytelling. It was literally just compilation of random clips, and they were fun when they first came on the scene, but they fell short, especially as you started to evolve and people were just tired of just kind of seeing these things happen. Anyways, I got a GoPro around this time, about 2016, I got a GoPro. I would film my own little edits. We would jump off cliffs. Very terrible. I'm not even going to show you the edit. I actually have it pulled up, but it's not even worth actually showing. This is just terrible. It's trash. In 2017 and 2023, that's where I kind of went from that beginner to more advanced stage. I was about 28 to 34. I joined for a few courses, learned how to take actually real videos. So now my videos actually started to look more like this, where I was actually editing to the beat. But in the end, it was all just practice. But I kept practicing, kept learning. Dozens of videos later, I finally got paid for my first video, but literally everything still stayed the same. In terms of what are we actually doing? We're really just filming stuff, doing things, and putting them together in an emotional way where we hear the song, we hear the music, we can understand that it's speeding up, so we need to speed up, or it's slowing down, so we need to slow down, and going through things like that. So let me show you this video real quick, because this is where I finally started to actually put things together. I was paid to actually, like, I created this video and people actually liked it. This is how to promote disc golf. Awesome work. 1,000 rated video for sure. I actually was like, shit, dude, maybe I got something here. So this is where I started to get into more professional looking video. This started to look a lot better. I started to learn actually what to do, how to light a scene, which was all well and good, but I hated this. I hated doing this. This is boring. So I started creating YouTube content for a real estate agent, which then turned into those fancy Instagram edits that we all saw around about 2023, right? I was creating Instagram reels. They weren't doing anything. They weren't getting any. I was doing this for real estate agents. They weren't getting any views, no followers, and definitely no leads. And I hated the feeling of selling something that wasn't working. At this time, I took a video course and program where basically the coach that was showing us an example of a realtor client that he had, because I was in video production, I asked him how they were getting the leads. Like, how was that real estate agent using your content to get leads? And the guy said they aren't getting leads. They are just using it to stay top of mind. It's better to find agents that are already succeeding and then sell them video. And when he said that, I was like, what? So this doesn't work, basically. And that was a huge turning point. This was the content that I had been creating up until this point.
Are you seeing hesitancy to get into the market, hesitancy to buy your first home, hesitancy to sell and buy something that fits you better right now?
I really am.
Boring as shit, but super fancy edit. Man, is that epic or what? Like, you know how long it takes? Hours to rotoscope and do all these edits. Like, it's insane. But what's the point if it's really going nowhere? Anyways, I'm going to spare you on the boring part of the story. The point is that all these experiences led me to start looking into, well, what does work? And what I ultimately found was like Katie Yoakum in my local area, posting like lifestyle POV, like POV, your life looks like this. Here's some houses. I found people like Brandon Blankenship, this guy right here. He focused heavily on local content. He loved restaurants. And so he showed a lot of restaurants. And then he also showed some real estate as well. I found Alyssa Kernut, which we all know and love, very heavy in that local scene. I found Ken Pozak, who was also doing heavy on local. And I found Nick Gershon, who was doing some memes, doing some funny stuff, but also doing some real estate. All these agents had tens of thousands of followers, tens of thousands of views, and no one was really talking about houses. They were all doing POV style content. POV, you live in Chicagoland and now your life looks like this. Local content highlighting businesses and new developments. They looked like influencers from the outside, but monetized their audience with a $10,000 to $40,000 check on the back end. However, everyone's content was kind of boring to me. So I took the local bucket that everyone else was using and I made it work for me. I went back to my roots of the fun, hyped up lifestyle travel film style of content that at this point had died out of YouTube, and I brought it back into real estate. And I hadn't seen anybody doing this before. But the funny thing is that people are already doing this. Like Lola Hubner is an influencer out of Australia. She has inspired a lot of my content, like tons of it. Like many of my videos, like one of them was like, you're a bird in Australia. And she made these videos. But ultimately, it's truly just the lifestyle content that we all knew and love, just she doesn't have a way of monetizing it. So to tell the story once more, I got my license in April 2024, started posting to Instagram. I started telling my story and showcasing the epic adventures I had already been doing, but I was putting local type hooks on them to get attention. So different than where these are. These YouTube videos are heavily based in storytelling, but when it comes to Instagram, we have to keep things very, very quickly. We can't take several seconds or even several minutes, obviously not on Instagram, but we can't take a long time to get to the point. We have to get to the point quickly, and then we have to get out of the point quickly. And so that's where I basically took what other people were doing and just started adding in these hooks. At this time, when I first joined, my favorite accounts to watch and mimic were travel accounts. like I of She and many others. So when you get this document, you'll see a whole list of people here. Lola Hubner, Jake Guzman, I think is out of Washington. He shoots some epic stuff. Same with Ryan Rasaka. Z Travel is she could be a real estate agent. I don't know why she wouldn't sell houses. Pang Bang, you've seen Pang Bang all over. I put Pang Bang in all of our weekly inspiration. She does a lot of great stuff. The Creator's Passport, it was actually the Lover's Passport. Let me go back to that one. So the Lover's Passport are the ones that did the one where I did the POV, you and your wife say yes to moving to here, and now your life looks like this or something like that. They're the ones who did that, but for road tripping around Utah. So I'm a firm believer that travel accounts are the best. They're my favorite by far. They think hard. They're very creative, which takes the load off of you. The Spinning Atlas, Wonderlust, Travel, everyone creates the same exact content. It's all very like, oh my gosh, look how great my life is. Look how great this beautiful place is. Let me put together a beautiful edit to a beautiful song and things like that. Then you also have the local side of things. So then we started putting it into actual fruition. So let's walk through this. When I first started creating content for my Instagram account, it started very slow at first, only gaining 330 followers in the first 30 days. On 4/5, this was the first multi-clip to get big views. That was about a month in, and it got decent views. Next up, that was 4/5, 4/11. A few days later, the next one got 10,000 views. Same style, same visual hook, same song. Literally just duplicated it with new clips, new hook. Okay. So same visual hook. It was the travel influencers that kept doing this Google Earth flying. And I was like, I'm going to try it. Like if literally everybody, I remember I said last week, if everybody's doing something, assume it works for a reason. So things started to come together. I started to understand like maybe there's something to this type of video. Maybe there's honestly something to this. So you can see the next several videos that even did well for me were all because of this visual hook. Every single one of them had this visual hook and was the same style of video. So I just kept running it back. Same song, same visual hook, new edit, new videos, new text on screen hook. It's funny. And nobody like said anything. Like we all think like, oh, someone's going to say something. No, nobody says anything. And then finally this one took off. POV, you and your wife say yes to moving your family to Idaho. And now your life looks like this. At this point, I found my groove and style. Like every video I made like this was crushing, just over and over and over. And so it then became like, this is fun. It was self-rewarding. And this is as close to an EDM after party remix I can possibly get to these days, and I'm okay with that. So I just kept doing it over and over and over. Anytime I went anywhere, anytime I just like wanted to like get back to a fun little edit, I just kept doing it, and they kept crushing. By this point, I had established myself. Remember last week we talked about stage 1, establishing yourself. And stage 2 is solidifying yourself. And stage 3 is cementing yourself. And so at this point, I had established myself. It had only been like I had started posting in March. It had only been 6 months at this point, and every single one of these reels was just crushing, crushing, crushing. So I had established myself as someone that my audience could count on to inspire them to go enjoy life and the state, in the state they live, or inspire them that life looks pretty fun in Idaho and they could move here. This was one of my most successful ones. This one ended up at 285,000 views. It was one of the most epic videos. I'm going to play this because I'm going to make a comment that we're going to lean into as we go into these videos, where people ask me like, well, what should I use for a trending song? Or trending songs don't matter. What really matters is what is the emotion that you want people to feel, and then matching that emotion with the song. And then you need to match your clips with that song. This is by far the most epic video I've ever made. And it just makes me like, it makes my heart pound even just watching it every time. If that doesn't make you want to go into battle, I don't know what will. And there we are. That's basically the history of the multi-clip. Can you see the progression of like where it came from to where it is today? And the big opportunity, even though that these do take long, and you'll see how long it takes. I'm gonna do it right here. It does take me a good amount of time. It's not quick by any means, but it makes people feel something. It makes them excited. It makes them happy. And that's what I'm looking for. So here essentially is the multi-clip process. The multi-clip magic equation is simple. It is step number one, go and do epic things and then make videos about that. And when I say epic things, epic could mean anything to you. Like I said, it could mean small town stuff. It could mean city stuff. It could mean country stuff. Whatever it is, just go and do it and then make a video about it. What I've ultimately found is that it's way easier to create these videos based on going and doing things, because here's why. I'll go into my phone to create the video and I'll see like 10 to 20 videos in an area of my phone and I can pull from there. But if I just have one random clip throughout my life, it's really hard to find the best clips to choose from because they're so sporadic. But if I'm like, hey, I'm going to go do this thing because I did the research to actually find it and I think it's going to be fun, then you actually have a whole chunk in your phone that it's easy to see. So almost every lifestyle multi-clip that I do has the same exact framework. 0 to 3 seconds, I have a visual hook plus a text on screen hook. Then I have 5 to 10 clips, 0.2 to 0.75 seconds long each. The total duration of the video is on average about 12 seconds, 15 seconds or less, we'll say. Anything more than that, we're bored. We've seen it. We understand. Like when it comes to actually creating content, like creating long form videos, you have to be telling multiple stories if you really want to hold people's attention. It always, I always want you guys to keep in mind the average view duration or the retention graph. And so 12 seconds is about all people can handle. Anything more than that, you have to you're going to have people kind of drop off and you have to have something new that's going to get their attention. Like all of a sudden you're in a helicopter jumping out of a fucking, who knows? But the point is you got to get people's attention again if you're going to do that. So this is kind of a visual representation that I created where you got the 3 layers inside of Instagram, or really edits is going to be the easiest place. You have your video layer, that's your main layer. You have your music layer and you have your text layer. And most times my text layer just ends up on the first part of the visual hook. And then it basically goes away. And I usually don't have any text after that. Sometimes I do, not always. But if I were to rate the importance of each of these clips, it goes back to the retention, where if I'm going to overlay it right here, so if this is my retention graph and it starts right here, all my attention is going to be right here on the visual hook. Everything after that, it's going to start to go down. And so with each of these clips, I have an opportunity to kind of hold people's attention. And then these clips at this point don't really matter. Like they're not as important to make sure, but this is why we need to front end load the best clips towards the front. So you can see, like I show here, the visual hook is anywhere from 2 to 3 seconds. And then every clip is dependent on where the beat of the actual song is happening. Like in that video I just showed, when that drum is hitting, boom, 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 boom. Like I'm changing the clip very fast to that beat. And then with my song, I'm making sure I'm picking a song that has a drop. And where that drop is happening is the transition from the first clip to all the rest of the clips. All right, so here we go. We're getting into the actual details of this. Number one, you need clips. So go live a life worth showing. Live a life your ideal client would want to live. Do they want a slow pace of life? Then show it. Do they want a luxurious life? Then show it. Do they want an adventurous life? Then show it. There is a space for everybody. Just because I roll in my lane doesn't mean that you can't roll in your lane. Because I know everybody has this limiting belief that it won't work for me. Document your life showing the principles that I outline in the 8 rules of composition and the B-roll trainings. So if you look back at any of these videos, they all fall like this is the rule of thirds. He's going to come over here. He's going to jump up here. That's following the rule of thirds, which is part of the 8 rules of composition. These videos are staked in cinema with composition, rule of thirds, leading lines, movement, all that sort of thing. My name is Jimmy Conover and I'm a real estate agent out of Boise, Idaho. In the first 12 months of being a real estate agent, I was able to take a brand new Instagram account from 0 to 23,000 followers using the lifestyle method, where I gained over 25 million views in just 12 months, which ended up turning into 9 transactions under contract when coupled with a targeted DM strategy. So I wasn't just relying on inbound DMs. I called it the lifestyle method because I leveraged my lifestyle for my marketing, because I didn't have a lot of time to actually market my business. So I had to figure out a way to use the time with my family as my prospecting method. Several years ago, I moved from Arizona to Idaho. So I leveraged that with my story, as well as my understanding of how to film houses and understand what people actually want. Now, if you want to learn more about how I can actually help you inside of our one-on-one 16-week program called the Social Circle, then you can click the link below and learn everything about it. And if you think that, oh, I can't do this, I don't have a video background, I didn't relocate, I've helped everybody all across the board. I've worked with over 120 agents at this point, ranging from you grew up there, you relocated, 24 years old, all the way up to 50, 60 plus. And so I've worked with everybody in between. So if you feel like I can't help you, I probably can, unless you live in a small town that nobody actually wants to move to. There is that. So if you're interested in learning more, I break it all down in about a 5-minute video, or see any of the testimonials of anybody that we worked with. I encourage you to check them out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.